Well, welcome back everyone. I've decided to continue kind of on with this of an evening project. So when I get home from work, I think I'm just going to come and scrape on old Pickle for a little bit. Because I get home late enough, traffic's usually so bad that I can't really do anything big except for on the weekends. So I'm just going to come home, I think, and just scrape on this a few nights a week and see how far we get. So I'm stepping back so you can kind of get a view of what we're starting with, and I'll hop up there. I've got a fresh blade on my razor blade scraper, and we'll see if we can't get that top section off. Keep in mind those windows are going. That is going to get metal welded back into it. Those will get patinaed to match the rest of the rust and crust. So I'll go up to those, but those are going away. Well, that's what we're down to now. You'll notice the striping that was on the back section. You can see I'm not noticing any logoing really. Looks like there might have been some vinyl stickers. You can kind of see maybe there was some vinyl in here and they've cut it. You can kind of see like X-Acto lines where they've cut it off. I can't read it, so I think it was probably just a design. And then I don't know if they'll pick up in the camera or not, but it appears there was kind of a V shape or a trapezoidal shape. You can kind of see it a little bit better there. You can't really feel it, but you can see it. Maybe you can. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is that Bondo stuff. I'm not sure what that is. There's a little bit of it over here too. So there must have been a couple of bings and bangs along the area there. So I'm going to hit that real quick. I didn't get directly above the windows there yet. I'll have to dig the ladder out because I'm a shorty. But let's see if we can get that top part there down to dove blue. Well, sadly, that's as far as I'm going to get tonight. Still got a little bit of daylight out there, but starting to lose some daylight. So we will stop there and pick up tomorrow. I hate doing this in little segments like that, but better than doing nothing. So it does appear that they've kind of sanded a little bit in a couple areas and then pondoed over it. It doesn't really look like there's a dent there, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But anyway, that's what we've got. So pick you back up tomorrow. Hey everybody, it's a couple days later. We've been to a couple car shows actually. We went to 2 in the same day, so we pulled the single wheels out. So the bus is pulled out this way. And this little spot here where somebody has sanded, I'm going to take some marble, and I don't understand why you would sand like they did. I'm going to take some marble mystery oil and just make sure that that will kind of blend in. And if we wet sand that and then wax it, I think it'll be fine. I just want it to kind of be the same consistency throughout. So let me grab some of that and a paper towel, and we'll put that on there and see if we can get that to kind of blend in. Hopefully you can see okay there. I'm just going to take a little marble and fill in on that. Yeah, I definitely think that's going to have to be wet sanded and probably feathered in a little bit. I was hoping this little spot right here would come back, bud, but somebody sanded on it. That stinks. Right in here in this area, it looks like somebody did go through and at one point sanded this down. There is a layer on there, I'll try to show you on this strip here, that's kind of a yellow. You can see a little bit of it coming through like right in there. It is like a vinyl, and so when it comes off super easy. But right in that area there, I did not scrape that down to bare metal. It was bare metal when I got to it. There's a couple areas like kind of along this rib right here. So I will just let that go back to rust. It looks like I've rubbed, you know, with the sponge, but I didn't. As soon as I hit that with that stuff and just took one paper towel and went down it, it was like that. So sadly, so basically this is how I am leaving it. And then I put the oven cleaner, or not oven cleaner, goof off on there. Let me get that off of there. So it looks like in this lower area here, we're gonna run into that same sanding type stuff that they did up in this area. So I'll probably, you can see the circular patterns. I'll probably have to wet sand that and just try and bring back what I can. And then I thought this was good over here so you could see all the layers. So we've got the black, the brown. There are actually two browns. They're hard to see in film, but there's kind of an orangey brown, and then there's another lighter brown under it. And then there's an iridescent, let me find a spot with that. That is right, that iridescent teal. And then there's this teal, then a white, then a red, and a yellow. And you can see the red stripes appeared to go up. You can kind of see them here on the blue part. And that's kind of like a vinyl sticker, it feels like. It feels different than the paint that's on there. So this bus has been put through the ringer. It's been, I don't know if it's been loved or abused, but anyway, a lot of work for me, but I'm really happy with, you know, how even this is coming out. A little bummed about that part and then up in here, but I can fix it, just more work. It's only time and money, right? So I'll keep stripping that off of there. Just thought I'd show you while I had it, kind of where you can see all the different layers of it. And then between, which I haven't got it down to that point yet, but between the original paint and the kind of whitish layer on the rest of the bus is a navy blue. Let's see if I can find a spot where it's on there. I guess right down here is probably the best spot. So that's like a navy blue layer on top of the iridescent. Yee. Well, I've got most of that section off of there. A few little areas I need to go back around and just finish getting the rest of it off, but looks pretty good. Pretty happy with how that's turning out. Yeah, I don't understand why some of these areas just sanded, and it's sanded with like a weird disc. The sanding patterns, just wondering if they weren't removing old logos or something. I don't know. Strange. Look how shiny the paint is. Probably can't see it very well right here. I mean, it's just like in perfect shape right there. You know, of course that ends pretty quickly, but I think that section is going to be pretty nice. And you can see that dark blue, navy blue I was talking about. Coming along. We're getting there. Although I may at some point put some big truck mirrors on this thing, because I kind of like them. That's got to go. I can't take that anymore. So let's see if we can get that off of there. I put PP Blaster on it last night. We got one out. There's just two screws holding it in at the top. I've already successfully managed to smash a finger. And then I went back in and got the drill. And I think I have this other one loose. Let me move that out of the way so I can get the drill in. I went from a screwdriver to vice grips to the impact driver. And I was about to go to a torch if I couldn't get it. You know what they say. Can't be tied if it's liquid. Let's see if we can get this other one out of here. Nothing sketchy here. Nothing to see here. Oh, that one came out like butter. Done. Can't believe they drilled that through there. Oh well, it adds character. And that is gone. So now I can finish stripping this side of the bus. Just working a little bit on the front of old Pickle here. And that same striping pattern that was down the side is on the front too. So sadly, I've already made the decision to rip all of that off on the side, so just follow the same pattern on the front. I'm going to try to get kind of down this way and up scraped off tonight. Daylight's kind of starting to fade. Maybe we can put some goof off on that and kind of see what the front's going to look like. I've mentioned this before, but check this out. They just cut up the side and lapped it over. Nice, huh? I won't be able probably to get down in there because there's a big dent. Caved in right there. And I'm back to using a razor blade because on the surfaces that it's straight and I'm scraping on, razor blade's pretty easy to get to. It's coming off pretty easy though. Kind of like it was on the side. Get a good spot here. So that's kind of just what I'm doing. Getting it down to this layer and then going and taking the goof off, and it's coming off pretty good. Alright, let me continue on with that. I'll turn you back on when we get it all off. Alright, back to the goof off here. I have to get a different bottle. This one's not spraying very well. That gray is some kind of body filler. Well, the paint underneath is just almost perfect. Just like the back. I cannot believe that. It doesn't even look like anybody sanded it when they painted the other layers on top of it. I'm going to get a spritz bottle and neutralize what we've got there and wipe it down, and I'll turn the camera back on. But that is going to be pretty awesome. I actually kind of like this paint kind of creeping up a little bit. Probably won't leave it there, but it looks kind of cool. And yeah, they just puttied over the body holes. I kind of forget. So there's one here, one on each side for the emblem. So I'm not sure what that would have been. Maybe a spare tire holder? I don't know. Yeah, let me get that wiped down. Well, I guess it's trying to tell me something. I broke my first razor blade. Scraped all that off the side and all of it off the back, and worked on the front and just broke razor blade. So I'm gonna quit for tonight. It's dark anyway, can't really see very well, but that looks fantastic. I mean, I got no complaints there. I'll do a better shot of it in the morning. It looks a little light and a little dull just because of the flash is kind of bleaching it out. Who would have thought, right? Well, it's next morning and I'm pretty happy with that. It is smooth. I don't know if someone has sanded it, and I don't know. It feels like almost like it's been wet sanded. Just gonna let this, I'm gonna get the rest of that body filler out of there and just kind of let that rust. That hole should be there. That hole should be there. And I believe there's one top and bottom. I'll have to go look at my other one to make sure. This hole is in the same alignment as that one. So I don't know if there was a tire rack on there or what. It's probably why I got crunched up. But yeah, this is gonna be, it's gonna be good. I think there's gonna be quite a bit of the original paint left on the front, shockingly. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do down here. First thing I'm gonna do is rip that metal off of there before I decide what I'm gonna do. And we'll have to take that bumper off to get to that, but it's just pop riveted in. They just pop riveted it and then bonded over it. I mean, it doesn't even line up. And then up here, I'm just having to be real careful as I go around the turn. I don't want to scratch into any of the paint on the front if I can help it. And I started a little bit right there. This is solid. It's rusty, crusty on the outside, but it's not through all the way. So I think I am going to, I'll save that. You'll see what I'm going to do with that. These seals I'll have to replace. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but chances are those are going to have to be replaced. I mean, it's coming off really nice. Crusty. Oh, Pickle. I like it. Well, folks, probably one of the next things I need to do is wire the carport with some electricity so we can have some light out here, because we are very quickly losing daylight for the year. That is where I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm out here with, let me turn my headlight off. Out here with my headlamp on, trying to scrape some of this paint off. And that's where we're going to leave it, because I've reached a point where I really can't see what I'm doing, and you can't either, so I'm going to call it a night. Pick you back up tomorrow. I've had a couple people recently ask if I was going to strip the paint on the inside. I just wanted to show real quick that the inside, it's dirty. I have a video where I did the dash. I'll try to remember to put a link here where I wiped it off. It needs to be wiped off again, but the dash looks really nice. And the inside's all original paint. Let me walk around to those double doors and I'll show you the inside. So it's that kind of flat gray. I think they call them mouse gray. Try to get that sun glare out of your eyes. Or not. But I mean, the interior really, just other than needing cleaned up, is in pretty decent shape. So, not too worried about it. And you can see where there's that scraped in place that goes like kind of along the outside. You really can't even notice it inside the bus, which is kind of funny, but I mean, the ribs are in pretty good shape. I'm not real concerned about that. The floor is a mess, which most of them are. And it starts back there at that wheel well and just, works its way up. Somebody's welded in. This floor is patch panel. The original floor is under it, but there's just not much of it left. So, but I mean, it's pretty good. There's a hole over there. I don't know if you can see that or not behind those chairs. I'll weld a piece into that, patch that up. It's probably where they had a gas heater. But this rear wheel well here is in pretty rough shape. But I mean, the corners and the roof line are solid. No holes at all. There's a hole, I don't know if you can see with the sun glare, but there's a hole right there where there was like either a roof rack or an antenna, because there's a hole. I think it's probably a roof rack, because over there is one as well. But I'll just probably use a coat hanger as filler rod, and we'll just weld those closed. But overall, pretty good shape inside. So once I get the outside kind of good and the frame good, we're in pretty good shape. Like I said, I'll hopefully remember to put a video link up above, and you can check out the other video where I kind of do a walk around. Well, thanks everyone for commenting, watching, subscribing, all those things. Really looking forward to where we take this one. And I've had some feedback on some things I need to do to it, and I really like what's coming my way, so keep those comments coming. And we'll continue on stripping some paint. Oh, I almost forgot. Hang on just a second. Got a surprise. That looks a little better. These are reproduction taillight. I'd love to have the real thing, but I don't want to pay as much for a taillight as I did for the bus. Well, for a set of taillights. These are an aftermarket reproduction available from California Imports, CIP1.com. I'll put a link in the description. No one else had them, folks. No one else had them in stock. Looked at pretty much every website I could come up with. And here's the back piece. Super heavy-duty metal. Really, really nice quality. And the seal is really heavy-duty rubber seal that goes in between the body, the lens, and the back portion. So those will not be staying on there for fear they'll get broke before things are completed. But I just thought I'd show you a little bit. Funny how you can get so excited about a set of taillights. They look fantastic. There's a joke in there somewhere. All right, everybody. See you next time.